Need to worry about our vehicles getting stolen here? Do we need to put them in the garage?
No, it's fine. We'll be.
Chief.
Shut the fuck up. We get in the garage.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, ass chief?
Don't what's up, ass chief me right now. Half circle. Half circle.
Sir. Half circle, yes.
Carmine, where the fuck are you?
Yes, sir.
I'm on my way.
Peach the ass chief.
Send it, Peach.
The meeting room is currently booked for interview.
The garage. The garage. Meet us in the garage.
The garage. Okay, 10-4.
And I need a perfect half circle made, and we're not starting this thing until a half circle is made.
Is there going to be snacks at
It's
this
a
meeting?
hard knock life. Oh yeah. It's
Did he say a half
hard
circle?
knock
Okay,
life.
everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Carmine, shut the hell up.
My apologies, ass chief.
When
Actually,
I just
is there gonna be
witnessed.
snacks?
No. That's it. You're not allowed to have a snack for 1 hour now. Okay,
so
what I
sorry
just
for that.
witnessed was an absolute travesty. Comms were horrible. Where is the paralleling? We are right now. We have Shadow Captain Brian Knight,
Wait,
personal
what?
security guard to Governor Davis, President Davis, and this is what you're doing. This is what we've succumbed to. Carmine, what the fuck happened? This was your call. Where were the comms?
Yeah, what
Where
the
was
fuck
it?
happened, Carmine? What the fuck
Bobby,
happened?
take a lap.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell him to do it around the circle so we can watch him do it and laugh at him?
Yes, do it around the building, Bobby. Do it inside the garage. What the fuck happened, Carmine?
You know, everything was going well. In fact, it was going great until my idol joined the pursuit. You know, it was just
Me?
no, not obviously not you, Chief Brian Knight. I get nervous around you. Okay, you make me.
All right, enough
You
of this
make me
dumb shit.
nervous.
All right, so I've noticed something. So I'm gonna assume. Here's the thing. None of it is anyone's fault here. I'm assuming that there has been some lack of oversight, maybe training in this particular space. So instead of coming down on everyone, well, let's just kind of like run something back for everyone's benefit. Rule number one, once you lose contact with the vehicle, visual contact, you want to call VCB immediately. The reason for that is every parallel unit does not know what you are seeing. So it allows them to react quicker. The moment you VCB that shit. Anyone gives you trouble with that, let me or Peters know. Any questions about rule number one?
No, sir, no.
All right.
No, sir.
And hey, it's okay to ask questions. You're not going to get in trouble if you don't know. Okay. Or if you don't agree with it. All right. Rule number two. Anytime a vehicle goes through a tight alleyway in your secondary, you are to immediately go parallel, go around and try to predict where the vehicle that we are chasing is popping out of. What's the reason for that?
Secondary?
A secondary, yes.
Can I ask why a secondary
Chief Knight?
would do that
Yep.
over a tertiary?
Could you speak up? Sorry.
Can I ask why a secondary would do that over a tertiary?
Tertiary should also be doing that. Raise your.
Okay.
Anyone know
Do you
why?
want tertiary and
Yeah, I
secondary.
know
to go
why.
on?
I know why.
Go ahead.
Why?
Because there might be a block or something.
Correct.
Okay. And also maybe they do like an ambush and they try to kill the person
Okay.
in the primary car and stuff.
And what else?
so
What
you-
other reason?
Maybe the first primary crashes out and stuff.
Exactly. And then the second unit's going to get jammed up, right? What is the value of secondary going through the alleyway?
No,
I
There's
know
none,
that.
sir.
Well,
I know
just-
that.
Okay, go ahead, Bobby.
Bobby?
Bobby?
Hello, Bobby? Bob?
Could you re-ask the question?
I said, what is the value of secondary? It's a.
There is no value,
There,
so
okay, there's no value.
There is
Yep.
no value. I said it. There is no value.
Yeah. Because secondary because if the first vehicle gets jammed up, gets shot at, gets any one of those things, that secondary unit's just going to either A, sit behind watching it all take place, or number two, it's going to get jammed up with the front vehicle clogging that alleyway. Now, we're talking about tight alleyways, not like two-way streets, right? So if there's only room for one vehicle to go in, that secondary vehicle should be spinning around. Tertiary should be trying to find a separate parallel, right? So let's say, there's the common alleyway by Jamestown Street, right? Let's say the vehicle we're chasing goes down southbound goes into the alleyway. Secondary should probably go to Jamestown, right? And go parallel. Tertiary should probably go on, what's the road next to it? Like Ray Lowenstein or whatever it is, and go down that way. So that way you have two parallel units on both ends of the alleyway. So in the event the primary unit gets jammed up, tertiary and secondary both have eyes on both exits. Does that make sense conceptually?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Captain.
A parallel unit's job is not there to take over that primary, that's not their only job. It's to keep
As a
eyes
parallel?
on any, parallel units. Well, I mean, in these
Well, I thought they were
circumstances,
supposed to
right?
pick it up. Okay.
Yeah, in this particular circumstance, right? So generally speaking, secondary and tertiary are there to pick up primary in the event that
Yeah.
primary loses contact. But the moment they turn into a parallel role, like in the example of the alleyway, their job is now transitioning into keeping eyes on the target and picking it up if primary loses it. So by secondary and tertiary going parallel into into that circumstance, they're keeping eyes on the vehicle. Now, the fourth unit and the third unit, right? Fourth unit obviously is going to go parallel. You're predicting where that chase is going to end up. Tertiary should be making a decision depending on the circumstances, right? Like, are they taking a bunch of, in my opinion, if they're taking a lot of alleyways and whatnot, tertiary should probably not be sitting and trying to, what is it called? When one unit goes beyond the other, what do you call it?
Conga lining.
Yeah, it should probably not be conga lining, but should instead be parallel. So depending on the speed of the chase, et cetera, it should be 1, 2, or 3 block radius. Any questions about, now this is a very loose recommendation, right? Every
just
chase
depends
is
on the
going to be a little
situation.
bit different.
Yeah.
The speed of the chase, the amount of alleyways they're taking, each one of these things should have you individually thinking about what is happening in front of us. Bobby, you're suspended for 30 minutes. Get the fuck out of the circle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You
God
fucked
damn
around
it.
and found out, Bobby.
Yeah. Go clean up the lobby, all right? Not in your uniform.
Yes, sir.
Put a dunce hat on too, Bobby.
All right. All right. Any questions about this? I want us to understand what the conceptual basis of what I'm describing and why this is beneficial for us. The better we get at this, the less units we need to respond to these things, and the more efficient we end up becoming. So ask your questions now, and we're going to try to implement this. We're going to do a little mini training, all right, right after this little get-together.
I have a question, Chief.
Yeah.
My understanding from primary, secondary, and tertiary is that tertiary is like the designated parallel unit. Primary and secondary always keep visual on the car, even if you go into alleyways, in case it's an ambush.
That is the
Primary
small
unit-
case where I would not recommend it unless Peter's. That's like an SOP thing. But
I think it'd cause more chaos if secondary, because just like Carmine said,
No,
you're
it
keeping
shouldn't.
visual when you're in the chase, and I feel like if secondary
is this
would
written in
break off and not
SOPs?
no, it's not.
Yeah.
The thing is, going through an alleyway, like a thin alleyway, the likelihood, especially going through the south side with all the gates and stuff, this 100% should be done. There's a yes D.
I just wanted to, I suppose what my question would be to everyone in the room is, what is the secondary tertiary's primary job?
Secondary will always be comms and to provide backup for primary. Tertiary, depending on the severity of the call, right? Your tertiary is generally there to parallel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what I was kind of alluding to is it absolutely makes sense for the secondary and tertiary to parallel, because if something goes wrong, they can't continue the primary job, which is continue
exactly.
the pursuit, right?
Yes.
And going back to the whole thing, those thin alleyways where there's only room for one car, what ends up happening when you do parallel, you're allowing yourself more space to pass and get to the end or to interception points where the car would be exiting. So let's say your primary does crash and you have secondary behind it, you're now out 2 cars. Versus if you have 2 units going around, you're only out 1 car with 2 other cars that can intercept.
Yeah, this is only the case with tight alleyways. Like for example, when there's the little archway by the Maze Bank, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about? With the ladder that goes up to the AC unit?
Just the south of it?
Yes. So let's say Carmine is primary and he follows the suspect vehicle go through that archway. Secondary should immediately be like, and even communicate this, is I'm going around, I've got the burger shot side. Tertiary calls out, all right, I'm gonna go clog up the Bahama Mama's side, right? And so what we're doing here is they're going into alleyway and we're immediately surrounding it and creating a perimeter. So no matter what happens in that alleyway, we've got eyes on every exit point. But instead, if we're all just kind of following our primary unit, our brains are shutting off and we're not being strategic anymore, right? And now all of a sudden they go in that alleyway, we lose them, right? They end up parking up somewhere, we lose them. If they do park up, we got a perimeter so we know exactly where they are.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go practice this real quick. All right?
Before we practice this, it is not jeans Friday. You guys need to put uniform pants on.
Yes, Peach.
Oh, yeah, me too.
All right. We can do that right afterwards, sir, if you don't mind, just so we can get these guys back out there.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna play the suspect. Carmine's gonna be primary, and I want to hear this on radio. All right. Just we're just gonna do a couple rounds. Let's meet up by Jamestown Street.